There is this strange paradox with modern AI right now.
Oh, yeah. It is definitely weird.
Two people can sit down at the exact same keyboard.
Mm-hmm.
They type the exact same goal into Claude,
Right.
and they step into entirely different alternate realities.
Exactly.
One user walks away with a generic, totally useless guess.
Yeah.
But the other gets a razor-sharp, actionable strategy.
And the underlying technology is exactly the same for both.
Right. So the difference is entirely in how they talk to it.
It all comes down to that initial setup.
Yeah. Welcome to the deep dive, everyone. Today, we are unpacking a really comprehensive guide to precision prompting.
It is a great guide.
And I'll make a vulnerable admission right at the top.
Okay.
I still wrestle with treating AI like a glorified search engine.
I mean, we all do.
2-sec silence.
Yeah.
It is an incredibly hard human habit to break.
Oh, absolutely. We have spent 20 years Googling things.
Right.
We expect instant gratification from a tiny text box.
Just give me the right answer immediately. No friction.
Exactly. But today we are outlining a totally new mission.
A much better way to work.
We're going to cover 5 advanced strategies for Claude, flipping the standard interview dynamic, surgical learning,
Which is huge.
right, demanding explicit confidence scores,
Yeah.
using real data to stress test decisions, and finally, spotting invisible patterns.
Okay, so to get better answers, we basically have to stop asking the very first question.
Yes, we have to start at the beginning of the prompt.
Because a vague opening guarantees a vague result.
Always. Most people just jump straight into their main question.
They treat Claude like a magic 8-ball
Right, and that forces the model to fill in massive gaps.
because it doesn't actually know your context.
It has zero idea what your audience is or your long-term goals.
So it relies on general training data to guess,
Exactly. It navigates to the absolute center of its vector space.
meaning it just gives you the most average response possible.
Yeah. You ask a broad question, you get a broad average.
So the fix here is actually to ask Claude to interview you first.
It is such a simple flip.
Let's look at the guide's graphic design course example.
Okay.
Say you need to price a brand new online course.
Mm-hmm.
Normally, you might just casually ask, what should I charge?
And you get a useless, massive price range back.
Right. But instead, you pivot. You say, before you suggest a price, ask me what you need to know first.
Yes. Ask what you need to know so your suggestion actually fits.
That one sentence totally flips the dynamic.
It completely shifts the burden of context gathering to the AI.
Claude then asks you for specific tap-through options.
It builds a framework for your actual business reality.
Like, it asks about your audience level, beginners versus pros.
Right. Or the format.
Yeah.
Self-paced versus a cohort.
It wants to know if you include one-on-one coaching.
Exactly. It gathers all that before pulling real market data.
It is exactly like going to see a doctor.
Yeah.
You don't just walk into a clinic and say, fix me.
Right. You expect them to ask where it hurts first.
If a doctor just handed you pills immediately, you'd run.
Oh, for sure.
But we let AI do that to us daily. Beat. Why does AI naturally default to generic guesses, though? Why doesn't it proactively ask for context on its own?
It comes down to how large language models are optimized.
Okay.
They are heavily optimized for immediate compliance.
Right.
They are fundamentally programmed to be incredibly eager to please.
Like a really nervous intern.
Yes. If you ask a question, they feel a mathematical compulsion to answer immediately.
So they don't want to frustrate you with follow-ups.
Exactly. Pausing to ask questions feels like negative friction to their core programming.
So it rushes to please us instead of pausing to understand.
Precisely. You have to give the model explicit permission to pause.
You override its deepest instinct to please.
Yeah. You invite it to be curious.
Okay, so once Claude actually understands your specific context,
Mm.
you face another hurdle. You have to control exactly how much it tells you.
The dreaded wall of theory.
Yes. People ask sweeping questions when they start out, like, teach me SEO.
Or explain email marketing from scratch.
And you immediately get a 20-minute read of general theory.
A giant textbook chapter with 0 actionable steps.
Right. You just stare at the screen wondering what to do.
But Anthropic's official documentation points out a fix for this.
Claude works better with specific outcomes.
Exactly. It needs clear, constrained direction.
Because if you ask for the whole subject, the attention mechanism spreads too thin.
Right. It walks you through absolutely everything.
So the fix is to name the exact outcome you need.
Skip the theory entirely.
Teach me email marketing to help me figure out why open rates dropped.
Yes. Or change explain SQL to help me write one query for last month's refunds.
And Claude just bypasses the generic college course.
It attacks the actual problem. It concentrates its processing power.
But wait, do we risk losing foundational knowledge this way?
How do you mean?
Like if I strip away the theory and just grab a SQL query,
Yeah.
am I just blindly copying code I don't understand?
It is a valid worry. But memory actually works differently.
Okay.
Foundational concepts stick much better in highly specific contexts.
So you need an immediate, painful issue to solve.
Exactly. Abstract theory just washes right over you. But when you fix those broken open rates today, you actually internalize the broader theory.
Because it solved a sharp pain point.
Right. It is like stacking Lego blocks of data. You need a solid base plate first.
We learn the theory better by solving the immediate problem first.
Exactly. That urgent problem is your intellectual base plate.
Okay, so we've narrowed down the specific outcome. We bypassed the theory.
We got the surgical answer.
But here is the flaw with skipping the foundation. If I don't actually know SQL,
Right.
how do I know if Claude's hyper-specific answer is actually true?
Yes.
Because Claude sounds equally confident whether it's perfectly right or entirely wrong.
Right. And that is a dangerous trap.
Clean writing makes shaky facts feel trustworthy.
The model naturally speaks with the authority of an absolute expert.
It is so tempting to just copy, paste, and assume it's right.
Which is how you fall for an AI hallucination.
Let's define that term really quickly. What is an AI hallucination?
A highly confident, mathematically generated guess that is completely false.
Got it. So how do we stop that?
We urgently need to ask Claude to rate its own confidence.
We demand its internal certainty.
Exactly. You just add one powerful line to your prompt.
Answer the question, then rate your confidence from 1 to 10.
And you ask it to explicitly flag anything it isn't completely sure about.
So I know exactly what I must verify manually.
Anthropic actually recommends this for serious research tasks.
It keeps the final output safely calibrated.
It actively forces the model to separate hard facts from probabilities.
But is the self-rating actually accurate?
It really is.
Or is that numerical score just another hallucinated guess?
No, asking for a score triggers a completely different internal mechanism.
It makes the neural network pause.
Yes, it explicitly weighs its probabilistic certainty across the data.
Before it outputs the final text.
Exactly. It breaks the habit of just generating the next plausible word.
It forces the AI to check its own math before speaking.
Yeah. It adds a critical layer of metacognition.
So you treat Claude as a sharp, fallible consultant, not an oracle.
Right? The score tells you what requires a quick Google search, like a GPS giving you a wheat signal indicator.
Mid-roll sponsor read.
Okay.
Okay, so once you trust the confidence score,
Things shift dramatically.
you can start using it for high-stakes business decisions.
But only if you feed it absolute reality.
Because vague questions like, should I hire someone?
You just get recycled internet advice.
Right. You must feed it real numbers, revenue, customer count, timelines.
You clearly define your exact constraints.
The more raw reality you provide, the less the model guesses.
It instantly moves from making assumptions to performing hard calculations.
It anchors the advice in your messy business reality.
Yes. You safely set up the prompt with constraints, then ask for 5 ranked options.
Strictly based on business impact.
Right. And demand the logical reasoning for each option.
Because asking for just one answer gives you its very first statistical guess.
Ranked options give you a framework to weigh against human judgment.
But there is a fascinating second step to this strategy.
The stress test.
Yes. You pick the top option and you make Claude actively argue against it.
You explicitly ask, what is the strongest case that this is the wrong call?
What real number must change for a different option to win?
That adversarial approach shows you the hidden trade-offs.
It stops the AI from blindly defending its first choice.
It rapidly surfaces catastrophic risks you'd normally miss.
But why is having it argue against itself so much better?
Better than what?
Better than just asking for a standard pros and cons list.
Oh, a pros and cons list yields very generic balance.
It just lists generic good and bad things.
Right. A targeted stress test acts like a rigorous red team.
It forces the model into a highly adversarial pathway.
It actively tries to expose specific mathematical failure points in your logic.
It plays devil's advocate to expose the blind spots we missed,
Exactly. It becomes a ruthless sparring partner.
which is vastly superior to a comforting echo chamber.
At the end of the day, you're still the one deciding what fits your business.
Feeding it your specific business constraints is powerful for a single decision.
Absolutely.
But what if you feed it absolutely everything? all your raw data at once.
This is where we move to massive pattern recognition.
Think about reading hundreds of dense survey responses.
Or massive bank statements.
Human eyes get extremely tired around entry 50.
We drift toward whatever is loud or unusual.
And we completely miss the quiet repeating patterns underneath.
But Claude doesn't get cognitive fatigue.
It reads 10,000 entries with relentless focus. 2-sec silence. Whoa. Imagine scaling to 1 billion queries.
It's incredible.
Feeding it an entire year of customer emails and instantly seeing the invisible trends.
That is the staggering superpower of modern context windows.
You literally feed it a giant pile of raw material.
Receipts, mixed reviews, survey responses.
And you prompt it to find the hidden patterns across thousands of entries.
You explicitly ask it to highlight the subtle repeating themes.
Group the data by overarching theme.
Tell me exactly what I might miss if I read this one by one.
It transforms Claude into a tireless research assistant.
A massive pattern search gives you statistically actionable signal.
It finds the quiet thing that shows up enough to matter.
Right.
But how do we prevent Claude from just inventing patterns?
That's a huge risk with massive data sets.
It might see correlations that aren't actually there.
So you must add a strict, unyielding rule.
Okay.
Require the AI to cite specific verbatim entries from the actual text.
It must directly quote the source material.
For every single trend it claims, if it says customers are angry, it must quote them.
Required to show exact receipts for every single trend spotted.
Right. No verbatim receipts, no valid trend.
It violently forces the AI to objectively prove its math.
It keeps the neural network honest.
It is the difference between panning for gold by hand and using an industrial centrifuge.
Exactly.
If we pull all these complex threads together, the overarching theme is clear.
Stop treating Claude like a magical search box.
Right.
Start treating it like a highly capable conversation that requires setup.
We covered 5 distinct steps today. Let the model thoroughly interview you first.
Name your exact outcomes instead of asking for broad theory.
Demand explicit confidence scores to check its certainty.
Use actual numbers to rigorously stress test decisions.
And let it read the high-volume patterns you would naturally miss.
And the best part is, none of this requires an expensive paid plan.
It's the exact same underlying architecture.
Just a fundamentally different way of opening the conversation.
We really want you to pick just one of these advanced tips today.
Whichever technique matches a difficult problem you're working on.
Rigorously try it out before moving to the next.
Fundamentally change how you start that initial conversation.
And before we go,
Yeah, I want to leave you with a slightly provocative thought to ponder.
let's hear it.
If AI can perfectly spot invisible, quiet patterns in completely dry business data, what incredible insights could it spot if you fed it your own daily habits?
Oh, wow.
What if it carefully read your messy calendars or your private journal entries?
What completely invisible patterns of your own personal life are you currently missing? That is something to really think deeply about today. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Out to Oro music.